what's going on, guys? My name's Marcus. You know me as Nomad Thrifter. I hope you're doing okay today. Today's not going to be the normal resale video. I'm not going to talk about my business. I'm going to talk about an experience that I had, a bad experience, a super bad experience I had with my auto insurance company, which is Allstate. I'm doing this video because I see so many of these big companies taking advantage of just everyday people. And and luckily I have a YouTube channel where I can, discuss, or I can talk to you about my experience, and we can chit chat down below. You can tell me what your experience is, and just as a community, we can just talk about this. So let's go ahead and dive into it, guys. Yesterday, I was driving to the post office to drop off some packages here in St. Peters, Missouri. And the guy in front of me, so I'm in the post office's parking lot. I'm right behind this one guy. He's waiting for somebody to pull out so he can pull in, which was really weird because the parking lot was pretty empty. He could have parked anywhere, but that's neither here nor there. It's his choice where he wants to park. So we're stopped. I have my vehicle. We have his vehicle. And all of a sudden, I see him start to back up slowly. And so what do? I slam on my horn, to let him know that, hey, I'm right behind you. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The vehicle that I was driving was a BMW Z4. It's a little small roadster. And unfortunately, I almost get hit quite often just because it's the size of a go-kart, right? But yeah, so I'm riding the horn. Guy hits me. Not hard, but, backs right into it. We pull up, he parks, I park, and I get out and I'm like, how did you didn't hear me? And he just looked stunned. It was crazy. And I'm also giving the benefit of the doubt. The guy was an older guy. I think he was in his 70s. I forget what because he gave me his, I had a picture of his driver's license. So I believe he was in the 70s, mid or upper 70s. So, I get the whole hearing thing maybe. If it's any indication, like my grandmother, she doesn't hear too well. But he didn't realize that, and he didn't feel it, and also I'll give the benefit of the doubt. He was driving this, I think it was a GMC, is it Arcadia? I don't know, but it was the size of like a Tahoe. It was a really big SUV. So maybe he didn't feel it. But that's neither here nor there. So he gets me his insurance information. I go ahead and I had to call my girlfriend because here you're not supposed to call 911 for those kind of accidents. They have a special number that you call. So she texts me that, and I called them. Had the cops come out here. We explain everything, and he writes up a story. Right. So that guy, he is at fault. So, we don't have to go beyond that. So after I get home, I go ahead and I call up Allstate, my insurance. And, not really knowing too much what to do, fortunately or unfortunately, we have to have insurance for our vehicles. But a lot of us, we never use it, or we might use it once or twice in our life. I'm sure there's probably some of you guys out there use it a couple times a year, but that's on you. But in all seriousness, so I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I called up Allstate. I told them what happened. We already established that, the other driver was at fault. So, we're chit-chatting. The guy was nice, but he was one of those overseas call centers, which, normally makes me a little bit nervous, especially with these kind of issues. So we're doing it, we're setting it up, and he sets me up an appointment for technically today. So this was yesterday, for today to go to one of the collision places down the road and have their adjuster meet me up there. And last night I was just thinking about, this doesn't seem right. That guy's at fault. His insurance would be covering all this. So why is my insurance doing all this stuff, right? So this morning I get an email. No, I take that back. So about 6 a.m., I go ahead and I end up calling Allstate again, trying to get some answers. Unfortunately, the representative was just, I don't want to say anything bad about him, but he was terrible. He kept on cutting me off. He had raised his tone towards me. And I think, I know that I probably sounded a little bit frustrated, but, I wasn't, to that point where, which would justify him, pushing back on me, if that makes any sense. Sorry if it doesn't. So I let him go. I just told him, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I got to head out the door, but I was going nowhere with him. And plus, I had to be somewhere. So I ended up calling the adjuster back a few hours ago. And we're talking, I'm like, and I was like, why are you guys going through these hoops to help me out when you're not getting anything from this? My rates don't go up. She's like, oh no, your rates are gonna go up. You're using us. And then I said, but I'm not at fault. She's like, yes, she's like, well, that's fine, but you still initiated us to do the claim. And I was like, that's not what I was supposed to do. No one told me that. And then she says something that just really made me mad. She's like, well, we're not supposed to tell you that. I was like, that sounds a little unethical, not to tell somebody that you're supposed to file with someone else, or else you guys are going to raise up my rates. And then she says, well, I worked for State Farm for 15 years, and they required us to tell our customers that. Here at Allstate, they tell us not to. Again, that's super, super shady. So I was like, okay. And I was just angry. I'm sorry, I sound like frazzled. But like, as I say it to myself, or I'm saying it now, it just makes me so angry that they intentionally tried to take advantage of me, and I caught it. So then next, I called the Missouri Department of Insurance out here. I was messaging an old colleague of mine, and they kind of had not the same situation, but they had some issue with their auto insurance company, and they went through them. So I go ahead and call them up there. I explained the situation. The lady was super nice, and she's like, yeah, it's very unfortunate. She said, while it is, yes, unethical, it's completely legal. She said that most insurance companies will let you know, they'll give you that courtesy because they'd rather keep you as a customer than kind of screw you over and then you just leave. She said, unfortunately, Allstate, they're just not the same caliber. She didn't really talk bad about them, but from what I got from her, Allstate tends to be a company that kind of has more of those issues for auto insurance. So that's basically where I'm at now. So she basically said, yeah, well, it is unethical. It's not illegal what they did. So by even filing would really not go anywhere. At this point now, I'm just waiting for Allstate to send me the number and all that stuff to the other insurance for me to try to figure out what the heck to do from there. But that's my terrible experience with Allstate. They definitely lost a customer. And from what that other lady the adjuster who told me about her 15 years, sounds like I'm going over to State Farm, guys. But yeah, that's the experience. Let me know below if you ever had an experience like that and what you did. Hope you liked the video, and I'll catch you later, guys. Take care, be safe, stay cool. It's like 104 degrees out here. It's like 2 p.m., but all right, guys, bye-bye.